Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Charlotte and I run a travel blog called The Global Shuffle. If you're not already a subscriber, hit the button below and subscribe. Okay, so today we're talking about ways to protect your hair while you are traveling. And I know that this is about curly hair because I have curly hair, but this can definitely apply to you if you have straight hair. So let's get into it. So number one is try not to rinse your hair with hard water. And by hard water, I mean water that you cannot drink from the tap or water that is highly chlorinated. So in some parts of the world, you can't drink the water from the tap because it contains things that will make you sick. So if you're rinsing your hair with the water from the shower, that is the same water that you shouldn't be drinking. So you're actually putting unknown into your hair as you're washing it, and it doesn't wash out. The first time I went to Thailand, I washed my hair on the very first day and it just lost its shine, it lost its volume, it was flat, it felt gritty, and I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't really think about it too much. I just kept doing what I was doing and it didn't return to normal until I got home. The same thing happened when I went traveling through India and Nepal and Southeast Asia again, and it didn't return to normal again until I got home. This time I had a really good hairdresser and he was horrified. He said the water makes such a difference. He said if I had known you were going to Southeast Asia, I would have given you preventative things. I would have given you deep conditioners, good conditioners, because the water over there is really different and it really affects your hair. And I definitely noticed. I notice every time I travel. So if your hair is feeling dirty, gritty, if it's lost its shine, it's lost its volume, it's just looking lackluster, consider rinsing your hair with purified or filtered water. It will probably make a really big difference. So number two is avoid silicons, sulfates, and parabens. Those are three ingredients that usually appear in hair products. So shampoo, conditioners, hair masks, everything usually will contain those three things. And they are really bad for your hair. It doesn't matter if you have curly hair or straight hair. So if you don't know what they are, basically silicons are like plastic. If you think about that stuff that you would use to like plug a wall or waterproof a car or something like that, that is silicone, and that is basically what you're putting into your hair when you use silicone shampoo. And basically it creates a lot of shine, which is why they use it. But if you think about individual hair strands being coated in a film of plastic, that's why they're shiny, but it also makes them impenetrable. You cannot get moisture in and you cannot get moisture out. So if you're like me and you have curly hair, you are probably more susceptible to dry hair, which makes it really difficult to deep condition. It makes it really difficult to actually get moisture into your hair. So you end up with thick layers of silicone on your hair and you can't see it, but your hair starts to look dull and lifeless. And if you have curly hair and it starts to droop, I would look at the ingredients in your hair products. I've listed some of the more common silicones, but basically anything that ends in "-one". So if you're looking at the back of your shampoo bottle and it has a really long word and then "-one" at the end, that is a silicone. So the way to get silicone out of your hair is by using sulfates. Sulfates will dissolve the silicone in your hair, but then you're using sulfates, and it's this vicious cycle of washing your hair with detergent, putting plastic back into it, washing it out again, putting plastic back into it. Your scalp can't breathe anymore because the silicone clogs all of your hair follicles. So you want to use a clarifier, and a clarifier will help strip the silicones out of your hair. Time is really the best way to get silicone out of your hair. I haven't used a silicone product in about 6 months. It has a new volume that it hasn't had in a very long time. Last one is parabens, which are basically preservative chemicals. You shouldn't be using anything with parabens for a number of reasons. Even if you love silicone shampoo, I would try and get something at least without parabens. So the reason that it has to do with traveling is because hard water and silicones and parabens and sulfates can wreak havoc on your hair. And you may only notice when you go overseas and you start using different products or the water is different, you may start noticing a really big difference. So if your hair is again looking lifeless and lackluster, I would consider looking at the ingredients that are in your shampoos. It might make a really big difference to how your hair looks. Number three is try not to change your hair routine too much. When we travel, we put our bodies under a huge amount of stress. If you're in a different time zone, your body has to catch up on sleep. If you've been in a plane, your skin, your hair, and your body is probably dehydrated and it's trying to retain water to rehydrate itself. Stress can manifest in many different ways, including hair dryness and scalp itchiness. So if you have a hair routine that works for you, I would try sticking to it as much as you possibly can while you travel. If you're the sort of person who used to wash their hair once a week, but as you travel, you've been washing it every second day, that will make a difference difference to your hair. It makes a difference to the way that your scalp creates oils to nourish your hair and hydrate it, because you keep stripping them out, and it's going to take a while for it to adjust. So to avoid that, every time I travel, I stick to the same wash days. It doesn't matter if I'm in a different time zone. I'm in Canada at the moment and I wash my hair twice a week, once on Saturday and once on Wednesday. When I went back home to Australia for 10 days, I washed my hair once on Sunday and once on Thursday. I did not change it at all. I wanted to keep my routine as normal as possible, so that while my body was trying to rehydrate itself after the very long plane ride and trying to catch up on sleep and trying to figure out when we should be tired and when we shouldn't be, I wanted to try and keep my hair as healthy as possible with the same routine, using the exact same products as I have used in Canada. All of this is unless you're using products with sulfate, silicons, or parabens, in which case I definitely recommend changing your hair products, but try and change them before you go on holidays. You can test out in a neutral environment with the water that you always use to wash your hair, so you know what works for you and what doesn't. I've linked some sulfate, silicon, and paraben-free recommendations down below, so you can check that out. So number 4 is avoid using heat tools if you're in a hot and humid climate. This is because the humidity will create frizz and the heat will actually take moisture out of your hair. So your hair will be dry and frizzy, which is the last thing you want when you straighten your hair. It will dry it out, the ends will probably go really crispy, it may start to sizzle as you get to the ends. Basically, the likelihood of you frying your hair in that kind of environment is way more likely than it is at home. So if you're the kind of person who likes to bring their straightening iron everywhere, I would really reconsider it if you're going somewhere hot, humid, or tropical. It could really wreak havoc on your hair. So number 5 is deep conditioner. I used to be really skeptical about deep conditioner. I just thought it was overpriced regular conditioner that just had the word deep on it and was supposed to be better, but it really wasn't. I was wrong. Deep conditioner is fantastic for retaining moisture. If you have been straightening your hair and you've found that it is a bit fried and it's feeling pretty dry, I would really try deep conditioning. It'll probably get out all of the knots. It combats dryness and frizz. And if you get one that is silicone free, it will actually really hydrate your hair. It'll make a massive difference. So that's it. I hope this was really helpful to you. If you've been traveling and your hair is dry or lifeless, I would definitely consider trying at least one of these tips. You never know, it could work for you. Please let me know if this was helpful to you, if you've experienced any of the things that I've mentioned, or if you have any different recommendations. I'm always open to new ideas. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the button below and subscribe. That would be amazing, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!